All right, all right, all right.
That was crazy. That was a good video. Straight up. 10 out of 10. Oh, yeah, absolutely. 10 out of 10, 100%. 10 out of
I'm
10,
just gonna
100%.
watch a little Tectone
What is that
live.
black shit on your arm? Looks like dog shit, bro. Oh, yeah, it's actually dog shit. It is. Yeah, it's dog shit. All right, that was, that West shit assaulted you? I know. Yep. Yep. Jesus. Okay.
Why is it all the way over there?
Oh, man.
Our preview?
That was rough.
You give up on me on It Takes Two?
No, we can play tonight.
Okay.
We can play right now if you want.
I have not touched this Twitter page in like 72 fucking hours. We're gonna see what's going on over like the last day. I low-key don't even want to cover this. We'll see. Oh wait, there was shit with Donald. Wait, there was shit with Donut Operator though.
No.
The Donut Operator shit was dope.
So many messages.
Hassan calls out Asmongold after the shooter. Yeah, there's some like trans person's a shooter. Yeah, there's Hassan talking about Ethan. Hassan wondering why blah blah blah. Okay, don't care. Too much Hassan news. Brandon Herrera talking about the shooter. This was dope. I'll probably watch his video later. Yeah, I kind of just like don't care. Not today. Not today. I just want to talk with my chat today, man. That was rough. Tectone's fault? What's Tectone's fault? What is this?
And so big merchandising, etc. And so big surprise. I know you guys might not believe this, but people actually preferred the one on the right. And so there you go. And this is it. Tectone's fault. So did Tectone die so Cracker Barrel could live?
Absolutely.
That's the question for
What?
today. And right now, I'm not sure. I don't want to. I don't want to say that that's what happened, but I do want to say that it's interesting the timing. That's
Yeah. You're welcome, guys. You are welcome. You are.
Dude, I'm gonna hang
You
out
are
until
welcome.
Sunday instead.
You are absolutely welcome.
You need to
Showtown,
send
it's
it
on my arm, bro.
early for me Sunday
It's not healed yet, man. It's not healed yet. Cool.
because she's in 12.
Let's go through all this shit. We got a lot of shit for the Daily Slop. We got a lot of shit for the Daily Slop. Check Call of Shame video on Riley's cheating. Yeah, I'll put it up later. If you link it up, I'll watch it. I want to get through. I want to get through all this because I'm gonna be real. I just want to play Wuthering Waves, guys. Right, but I need to get through as much of this as I possibly can right now. I'm gonna try to go with this like another hour and a half. Get all this shit done like an hour and a half. Leftists fighting each other. True. Mango funny moments compilation. That'd be nice. Lost soul aside. Bisexual women understand men the best.
These will be together.
Dated girls and understand men. Dating women made me
So
understand
as
men.
you may remember,
6 years ago. Is this a
Josh
skip?
was there. I wouldn't
I'm down to watch that. We didn't check on trending. I got to him. Saw this. Cookie Gasm saw that. E for Elliot. Yep. The autism spectrum explained by Dugs.
The autism spectrum explained by
Yeah, no, we'll watch that video. Clankers, I'm not Christian on the decision to take regardless. A Christian's brutally honest take on VTubers, a Christian anime podcast. This is the weirdest shit I've ever heard. She snapped. Don't worry, take it. The 14-year-old got arrested. They're finally fighting back. She snapped. I've never heard of this.
how does a
I've never heard of this. Roblox moderation. Cracker Barrel's back. You're welcome. Bishojo drama or not, we'll see. I don't even feel like talking about Moten Dude. The guy's fucking weirdo. More anarchist. Deserved downfall of Roblox. Slut versus Roblox. Political anarchist. Wait, the picture story of male most political anarchists online. Yep. Going viral. We'll watch this. PS5. Public gooning. Public goon epidemic is on the rise. Is that not illegal?
nutted on my fucking neck.
Is that not illegal? What? Will Smith tour video from fake AI crowd. That's insane.
What?
We'll watch it. R/Boy Moms. Anytime Fitness split stream. I watched this offline. It was interesting to know why my piss.
Hold on, this will get more commentary when I'm done eating.
True Mecha Hitler. V Shoujo Moten Do reveals. These returns winning bins. Yep. Potential fun fact. He catfished a recorded over 200 men. What? Ew, bro.
Every once in a while, I see something.
What the fuck? Ew. I wanted to watch this. Some guy called Dragon Lord. I heard this guy was crazy. Never heard of him though. We Are USA. Heavy is the crown. Oh yeah, there's the backstory of the Burger King guy. I also wanted to watch this. Apparently, this Burger King guy was really upset, and that's why he said the hard on the internet. All milk, no men. Disney abandoned men, but then they want them back. Don't care about Disney. Tectone Hollow Knight. React. Halfway done. Oscar calling you out. Not watching that. This is so bad. I saw this. Yeah, this is truly just sad. Horrible trans freaks shoot 17 kids. Leftists blame victims. Yeah, of course they do.
It happened again.
Too long. Too long. Otherwise, I would have watched. What fits you? Some things you might want to fight. Find most in 5 minutes. Ethan Klein's going to jail. No, he's not. Cool video. The death of Toby. Finally done. Yep. Okay. All right. Donut. Mata Hassan. Yep. Good. Broke bitch. I'll watch this. Almost done.
Massive.
Almost done. There's a lot of slop here. What loneliness does to a motherfucker.
Studies show this.
Great. Yep. Okay. Crowded's about a whole ass song. Funny when Devil Rendering, Gen Z's Cook, CIA, regarding Minneapolis shooter. I did want to watch this as well.
This video.
Yeah, I do want to watch this. First scene, Mr. Dango, Will Smith downfall. Want to watch this.
So
Almost done. A lot of slop, but a lot of good shit. Busted. Lord Donatus Primus. It's all about the money AI Tectone episode. Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. Okay. All right. Yep. All right. Okay. Please don't skip. People have lost their fucking minds. Okay, I'll pull it up. We will. We will watch this. Can't explain. Pure evil. Pussified. The pussification of villains.
One of the saddest.
This. Yep. Genshin 6.0 trailer. I don't care. Oh, God. People are going to complain that I didn't watch this. Okay. It came out 2 hours ago. Sure, I'll watch it, I guess. Next time there's Magic the Gathering. Rage baiting your friends. What's this?
So I'm going to tap 4, I'm going to bring my commander out from the command zone, which we talked about earlier, and then I'm going to... So your commander's, like, pretty essential to your deck? Oh, yeah, the entire deck is built around him. Oh, okay, well, I guess I'll tap 2 and play Infernal Grasp and destroy it. Can I do that? Oh, yeah, you can do that. I will admit, it's a little mean to destroy someone's commander right off the bat, and it might make someone a little annoying. It's a little mean to destroy, might make some people upset, but... Okay, my commander, who is a flying trample 24/24. What? Why me? Brett is 512 1/1 bugs. He's gonna take you out next turn. I know. All right, I will untap. Here, I'll keep. I'm gonna play silence and make it so you can't play spells this turn.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, unplug my headphones.
Okay, you know what? Shuffle up. You know what? Let's play a real game. I'm sick of going easy on you. Okay, I'll start. In fact, I'll play Swamp. I'll tap that. I'll play Dark Ritual. I'll counter that using a mental misstep. How do you even have that card?
Oh, man, it's so good. Great. Non-English speakers return to NBC speaking English. What's this? Hold on. What is this?
Congratulations. I like you a lot.
Thank you.
Only one round I don't like. What? When you did the Ninja Defuse against Brazilians in the Anubis. But I forgive you, okay?
Okay.
Because you qualified now, my friend.
Thank you.
What are you feeling? Good.
Until Jose was working today.
Nice.
Thank you.
Nice.
Ain't no seasoning on his goddamn fries.
Nice to meet you. I'm BT.
BT.
He's Liminha.
Huh?
From Brazil. You, Emília.
Very good.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice to meet you.
We're brother.
Yeah.
Hey, W that guy, man. Absolutely. What an absolute Giga Chad. All right, we got through the whole daily slop. Holy fuck, we did it. We fucking did it, dude. Oh my God, it's so easy. All right, great. Yeah, we got how many videos we have from that today? We got 1, 2.
I gotta see if you scroll past mine or what.
Fact, he catfished a dude recorded. Yep. She snapped. I've never heard of this.
Spectrum.
You are absolutely welcome. Showtown, it's on my arm, bro. It's not healed yet, man. It's not healed yet. All right, cool. Let's go through all this shit. We got a lot of shit for the daily slop. Check Call of Shame video on Riley's cheating. Yeah, I'll put it up later. If you link it up, I'll watch it. I want to get through all this because I'm gonna be real. I just want to play Wuthering Waves, guys. Right, but I need to get through as much of this as I possibly can right now.
Heck yeah. All right, done eating. Done eating. That's it. I'm done eating. Uh, uh, hmm. Play around a little bit with lossless scaling today. Hmm. Hmm. I see. I see. I see what you did there. Play some hole. It is struggling, huh? Man, I don't even want to go to the drainage system though. Drainage system shucks. It shucks, I tell you. It shucks. But we're going. We're going. Oh. Sounds a little wonky. Yeah, I hear you, whore. So dark in this map. Where do I find these fucking eye things? Yet to see one of them. Just floating around or something. Let's go look down here. There's usually a bad, or a NPC's just walking around here. Damn, my throat hurts. Moving slow so I can fucking see this shit. Seven shell tube. I'm gonna go ahead and leave, come back. Got him. I ain't fucking with him. I don't know where he's coming from. So I have slugs, then the I can buy that now. I didn't see a single one of them eyeball things, though. I feel like I've got to be missing something here. I don't know. Come on, guys, where you at? Fuck you. Do I go for the slugs or the flechettes? The flechettes. We're gonna do slugs. Pretty sure now it's a body shot. Most of them gonna die. Let's go with the bot. Oh, I see the yellow light. Babe. I'm actually getting fucking scared. What the fuck's the beeping? Babe. I got goosebumps. Babe. I did not know that's how that worked. Heard the eye faces come out. I don't do well in scary situations. Heard. The fuck happened to Steam? Go back to react and attack. That's easier.
Can't be worse than this shit. Forget it. Let's see what you got, Rice Ball.
Do you like crypto, Big Whale?
Oh, wow. This better not be a rug pull.
Rub and pull? We can arrange that.
Put it anywhere you want, big man. Watch presentation.
All right. Whatever.
What are you guys think that it's just Saint Tontas just because he's Asian? Your sponsors? What sponsors? Oh no. Here we go.
Here at Fraudulent Token Exchange, we are all about bringing
Wow.
found that gacha content is prime for exploiting people into giving up outrageous amounts just so people can see anime titties.
It's great.
Our revolutionary platform makes it so you no longer have to deal with imaginary anime titties. Instead, you can experience it for real using our human-machine brain interface.
What?
Just hook your mind up to our machines, let us use your soul to mine crypto, and let your brain wander into fields of anime. Let me show you how it works.
What?
We kidnapped these homeless people and gave them a future of mining crypto for us, and they get to live in anime forever.
Wow.
Invest in us today, and we promise we won't steal your money like a bunch of greedy assholes and end up screwing you over.
You know what's crazy? I would do it. I would absolutely do it in a fucking heartbeat. Give me the offer, I'm there immediately.
We promise on the
I'd do
Torah.
it. Yep. Thank God for Jews.
You like what you see, Big Whale?
Yeah, let me get in touch with my bank and I'll let you know. I know what those fuckers are up to. Rabbis want to use people to mine crypto in their minds.
Wait, FTX?
Yeah, how did you know?
That's ran by those bad rabbis.
I'm looking kind of small in this footage, man. I feel like we gotta juice me up a little bit more. I feel like I'm way bigger than this. I don't know.
You guys are too big of pussies to be here. Go across the street, you fucking weenies.
The fuck you just say to me?
A few moments
What?
later.
SpongeBob?
I never thought my ass would be beat by that fucking sponge.
Shouldn't have tried to fight him, bald bitch.
What do you two goofy goobers want?
Here's the plan. Tonight, we will go in and steal the source code to FTX.
What are we at, goofy
Take out
goobers?
the alarm system, I'll grab the hard drive and get the fuck out of there. All right, Nux, if you disable the alarm, I'll take care of the rest.
Easy enough.
There's a lot of Chinese dudes guarding it.
They
Uh-oh.
don't stand a chance.
That's dangerous.
I let Nux take the Gooner van because I'm the
Good.
coolest and most humble person on the planet.
He is.
Time eraser. Activate. Fuck, skipped too much time. Didn't have control.
my-
Hope you're ready to be a dad.
Oh my God. Holy shit, man. This motherfucker got busted on
fuck y'all. I'm gonna go get some cigarettes and milk.
Stop with the fucking fire alarm, bro. Gee, we need more of that.
Time eraser is too motherfucking powerful.
It is. It is.
For real. No cap. Straight pussy.
I got us free stuff. I'm winning. That's all that matters.
22 seconds.
Free stuff.
22%. Neat. Time to pull.
I thought we were about to say.
Yeah, I can get a 30 serving tub of this energy shit.
Let's make some money, boys.
This energy stuff. Dubby. I have my own discount code. Yeah, I gotta figure out how to do this.
Instrumental version 2? Damn!
I always lose. Losing sucks balls. Good thing Shinya installed cheats on my phone.
Oh, thank God. Holy!
That bald dude is cheating.
Nonsense. That man is Big Whale. He pays good money.
Yeah, but I'm a little snitch and I want him gone. I'm the only god who gotcha.
All right, fuck it.
Oh, dude, man. They made him look very good in this video, man. I'm not gonna lie. He has never looked this good.
Man is Big Whale. He pays good money.
Yeah, but I'm a little snitch and I want him gone. I'm the only god who gotcha.
All right, fuck it. Why not? Let's go kill a whale.
Sir, you're gonna have to come with us.
Okay.
That autistic Spurg Lord Tuhu told us you were cheating.
Uh-oh.
I don't think so, buddy. Time to fight you Gookanese motherfuckers.
That's gotta be racist, right? What?
Chinese soldiers use Tiananmen Square.
Ew, bro.
No one told me it'd be so intense. Never said I would be here again. To where the summer never ends. Smoking leaves, weaving dreams, gales on Fen.
Do we?
They got a flavor called Grandpa's Denture Water.
Did he just kill himself? Oh my God.
Yeah. It's Jitterless Energy Blend. It's made with coffee fruit extract. I'm probably gonna do like one of these if I get 10% off, like this one, something. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
I try a few of them and then right now I just gotta pick one of these to
Source code? Well, that was easier than I thought.
well,
Hey Nux, pull up the Goon Mobile. I got the source code. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Nux better be waiting for me out there. I have no more distractions.
I need to get that outfit. I really do.
Hold on to your balls. We are going to escape from this shithole once and for all.
I don't know.
Why did we need the FTX source code? Is this to say the F word?
Why is this?
Well, that just happened. What do we do with this trash? Scam people with it or destroy it? Do whatever you feel like, dude. I'm tired of this shtick. Yeah, I know what you mean.
God, Nux is fucking disgusting. Oh, we're just breaking it? Oh, why did we get that?
Nice throw, Goy. I give that one a 7 out of 10.
Good one.
Could be worse. Could be back in that mosque made for fat.
What a great video, man. What a great video, dude. This was amazing.
Money makes the world go round. Get paid if you're hungry. Nothing ever slows us down.
She did great, man. Did so good.
So you better work for it, honey.
Oh no, he got sold into anime hell.
If you wanna be the king, you better get
Code Molly, 10% off.
Get your dollars, get your cheddar, get your bacon, get your bread. Because it's all about the money.
We need more of these. By the way, the lore of the SpongeBob is I was supposed to stream yesterday, but I got really afraid of SpongeBob conspiracy theories, so I canceled. We need more of these. More of those. Every time. We're gonna need way more of those.
It's all about the money. Fucking lobsters for money. Money makes the world go round.
Okay.
Paid if you're hungry. Nothing ever slows us down. So it's all about the money. So you better work for it, honey. If you wanna make it in this world, if you wanna get the girls, if you wanna be the king, you better.
No, just for the record, I've never been one to say that this shit was easy.
What the fuck am I looking at?
Because it's all about the money.
Holy fuck, this outro it's so long. Okay, good, we're done. Yeah, that was awesome, man. Yeah, that was fucking fire, bro. That was 10 out of 10, bro. That was amazing. Thank you for that video, bro. That was a 18-minute video. Holy fuck. And you know what's crazy? I'm gonna need another one. That was great. That was awesome. All right, hell yeah. Geez, what was that? By the way, there's a video that I really wanted to watch. Where was this? Nope. Hold up. I fucked that up. It was a really, really, really good video. It's the video about the guy who said the N-word. Where was that at? This one. So I'm not sure if you guys have ever seen the clip of this white guy on a plane, which editor, please clip this in if it's not in this video, of this guy saying the hard R repeatedly on the airplane. Apparently 2 years ago, they put out lore on why that guy was so angry, and apparently it's 5 minutes. It's a great-ass story. That's over 150,000 views, but I've always been wondering, why was he so mad?
Ryan Brewer had always felt like an outsider, even as a child.
Okay.
His parents' constant fighting and eventual divorce only made things worse.
Oh, no.
He struggled with school and social interactions.
My parents were
and
also
as he
divorced.
entered his teenage years, he started experiencing strange thoughts and hallucinations.
Oh, so he's schizophrenic like me.
At first,
Okay,
Ryan
great.
tried to ignore the strange things he was experiencing. He told himself that he was just going through a phase and that it would pass. But the
assuming it
voices
did
in his
pass.
head only grew louder.
Okay, so what's really worrying me is that they just described my backstory, and I'm really getting the urge to go buy a Burger King crown right now.
and the delusions more intense.
Yeah.
Eventually, Ryan was diagnosed with schizophrenia.
Oh my God, he's... What? Am I supposed to be like this? Well, I guess I just said the bad gamer word on stream the other day, so maybe we aren't too different after all.
Mental illness that made it difficult for him to distinguish reality from his own imagined world.
Okay.
He tried to manage his illness with medication and therapy, but it was a constant struggle. One day, Ryan
marijuana and
received a message
schizophrenia
on a
does
dating
not go
app
hand
from
in
a
hand.
woman named Samantha.
Oh, it's
She
bad.
seemed interested in him, and they quickly struck up a conversation.
Okay.
Over the next few weeks, they talked frequently, and Ryan began to believe that he had finally found someone who understood him. Samantha was charming and witty, and Ryan found himself falling in love with her.
I went to that scene the whole time.
To fly to Jamaica to marry her, promising that she would pay for everything once he arrived.
No.
Ryan scraped together all the money he had,
Well,
which was
maybe
about
change
$1,000,
that up a
and
little
flew
bit.
to Jamaica.
No.
When Ryan arrived in Jamaica, he
guess I
quickly
don't need
realized that
eyes.
Samantha was not who she claimed to be. She was a scam artist who had tricked him into coming to Jamaica so she could steal his money.
What the fuck?
Ryan was devastated and alone in a foreign country with no one to turn to. He slept on the beaches for 3 days.
What?
And survived on Burger King burgers.
Really?
During this time, one of the Burger King employees gave him a Burger King crown as a joke, but Ryan cherished it as a symbol of hope and survival. Eventually, Ryan reached out to the US Embassy for help, and they were able to secure a flight back home on JetBlue Airlines.
Oh my God.
But Ryan's journey was far from over.
Oh no.
During the flight, Ryan's
Heavy is the crown. Oh, that's the name of the video. Heavy is the crown. Oh man, I feel bad for this guy, bro. That's horrible.
saw a woman who looked just like Samantha.
No.
The woman who had scammed him out of his money had been wearing a blue dress, just like the woman sitting a few rows in front of him.
Oh my God.
At first, Ryan tried to ignore the woman, hoping that his mind was just playing tricks on him. But as the flight went on, he became more and more convinced that she was Samantha.
How do I change this text color?
Ryan's thoughts raced,
Fuck
and the
Samantha.
voices in his head grew louder. He felt like he was going to explode. Suddenly, he stood up and started yelling at the woman, accusing her of being Samantha and demanding that she return his money.
Oh no.
The other passengers were taken aback by Ryan's outburst. They tried to calm him down, but he was beyond reason.
Fuck
he started
you,
screaming
Samantha!
the N-word at people, claiming that he had the right to say it because he was part West African.
Yep.
Some of the passengers became angry and started shouting back at Ryan. The flight attendants tried
Ryan's
to
a
intervene,
victim, guys.
but Ryan
He
was
is.
completely out of control. In the end, the captain was forced to alert the law enforcement, and
Everybody told me this was a bad guy. Guys, I believe all victims. I think Ryan was in the right. I do. Fuck Samantha, man. How dare she do that to a poor defenseless Ryan?
Ryan was escorted off the plane by the police. Ryan was humiliated and confused.
Yep.
He didn't understand why people were so upset with him.
Damn.
In his mind, he was just standing up for himself and demanding justice. He couldn't comprehend that his behavior was irrational and inappropriate.
I thought that was me.
As he waited for his next flight,
Oh my God.
Ryan felt more alone than ever before.
No.
He had lost all sense of control, and he didn't know how to find his way back to reality.
Damn.
He clutched his Burger King crown tightly, hoping that it would somehow give him strength. Ryan's life spiraled out of control after that. He struggled to find a job, and his relationships with his friends and family became strained.
Damn.
He stopped taking his medication and started drinking heavily,
No.
hoping to drown out the voices in his head. Years went by,
I bet it
and
didn't
Ryan's
work.
mental health continued to deteriorate, as
Oh,
evidenced by
God.
the numerous graffiti Ryan drew on the exterior of his own house. He became more and more isolated, convinced that the world was out to get him. His Burger King crown was the only thing that brought him comfort, a reminder of a time when he had felt like he could conquer anything.
Don't tell me
In
they
the
took
end,
it from him.
Ryan died alone in his house,
He died?
surrounded by Burger King wrappers and empty bottles. His life had been filled
He
with
died?
sadness and disappointment, but he held on to the memory of his brief romance with Samantha
Oh, no.
and the hope that someday he would find someone who truly loved him. Heavy is the head that holds the crown.
You know what's hilarious? So I got linked at by a guy who told me that this was real. So there are actually human beings on this earth who thinks that that is a accurate representation and a accurate recollection of what happened as it happened. And you know what? I believe him. That guy's a victim 100%. What a great video. All right, we got even more slop. Okay, we got Chinese men secretly catfished 200 men. We also have the public gooning epidemic. Yeah, this I'm pretty sure is definitely a crime. Like, saying gooning does not permit you to go come on random people. I don't think. Right? I'm pretty sure it doesn't. What is the public gooning epidemic?
Fucking nutted on my fucking leg! You're gonna help, bitch! Oh my god!
Bro busted his load on his leg and then dipped. That's fucking disgusting. Ooh. Ooh.
He nutted on my leg!
Jesus.
Philadelphia man surrenders after allegedly ejaculating on woman's leg. Bro, you cannot make this shit up, bro. You cannot make this up. Oh my god. Philadelphia authorities have identified and apprehended Gary A. Miles.
It was fucking SpongeBob snail, bro. Maybe it wasn't cum. Maybe that was just snail slime.
35 of Southwest Philly in connection with an indecent...
He's 35? 8 more years and he's as old as Asmongold, bro. What the fuck?
An assault that occurred at a Dollar Tree store.
Ooh.
Local rapper Meek Mill contributed to the search effort by offering a $2,000 reward for information leading to Miles' whereabouts. His involvement highlighted the community's collective effort to address the incident swiftly. You know you messed up if you even got the rappers putting money on your head. Ladies and gentlemen, and whatever's left of our collective dignity, come here. We need to talk. Because apparently being freaky in public is a trend now. We got people clapping.
Yeah, I don't know if sexual assault equates to being freaky. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like that a little bit further than just freaky, bro.
Cheeks in grocery store aisles. And I don't know if this is a result of some sort of weird fetish, but it's been pretty common for these spicy content creators to make content in public locations, for example, grocery stores.
Hold up. I'm gonna need to see the full video of that just to make sure of what exactly is going on here. Twerking grocery store Twinkies. What is this? Okay, I'm gonna need somebody to send me that video. I need to figure out what's going on here. Yeah, I need to verify because I don't want to weigh in on a source if I can't see it, right? So I cannot believe this unless I see it, right? So somebody link it to me, okay?
And the thing is, these videos will start all normal, and then all of a sudden you'll see some of the worst acting you've ever seen. Like, I know they're trying to sell some sort of like sex appeal or, you know, target the gooners, but it really ends up coming off as satire more than anything else. And besides the...
I will say, one of my favorite porns of all time is this one guy, and he's at a Popeyes drive-thru, maybe it's KFC, and he tries to order a chicken sandwich, but the lady doesn't like respond. So he goes inside and he says, "Damn, bro, you gonna do your job or what?" And just, "Oh, so sorry, I'll get your chicken sandwich right now." And he waits 45 more minutes, and then he walks around the counter, and it's just the chick with her pants off, just like throwing ass, and then they have sex in the Popeyes restaurant. It was awesome. It's one of the best porns of all time. Yeah, it's dope.
Weird grocery store behavior. We got people
doing this shit in public is just way hotter, bro. I'm not gonna lie. That being said, though, it's way better when you're not actually, like, they're pretending to do it in public. Don't actually do it in public. I would never do that. I've never had sex in public. Ever. I would never do that. That's weird. So weird. So weird. So weird.
Gooning in restaurant drive-thrus.
Hi, how are you?
Hey.
Good. Have you been here before?
Yeah.
Sir, you need to leave. Unacceptable. Unacceptable.
Was his cock out ordering Starbucks? What?
Call 911.
And I'm sure you might know who that is. That's Nautica Malone. I've talked about him on my channel before. He's basically viewed as like the progenitor of the public gooning movement. Yes, movement.
Our Nautica, the largest bikini beings, Tempe, Arizona. Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be served on earth as it is in circling. Deliver us
sad. The gist of the story is that dude basically unalived himself after he was caught on camera masturbating at the drive-thru. And the third
why can't y'all just watch porn? Right? Why can't y'all just watch porn? There's no way it's that hard. There's no way.
category might just be the worst by far, because not only do they goon in public, they take it upon themselves to take that extra step to make sure that it's a public location where kids are present. Ladies and gentlemen, meet NYC's blanket couple. So this freaked out couple obviously couldn't show enough restraint to wait till they got home, so this is what they did. Trying to enjoy a beautiful Sunday afternoon in NYC. Wow, look at this park. What do we have here? In the middle of the park, the kids literally roaming around. Didn't even bother to find somewhere that was more discreet. And the park is usually places where not a lot of people pass by. No, they said no, we're gonna do it smack dab in the middle of the park where everyone is passing by, where kids are passing by, and who cares who sees? You know, maybe they...
Yeah, but maybe they're... Okay, I can't see nothing. Maybe they're just wrestling.
Thought that blanket was like the invisibility cloak from Harry Potter. Brief intermission. Make sure you guys subscribe. We're almost at 100K. Also subscribe to my reaction channel and join my Discord.
I can't believe I have royally fucked this shit up so hard.
Appreciate y'all for watching. And I'm sorry, the fact that people just kept watching and minded their business kind of bothers me.
I'm just a dumbass and don't know what I'm doing.
You should have snuck underneath the blankets, man. Get in there. That's definitely an open invite, bro. It has to be.
He would have went and like splashed them with water.
Labels. Followers. Goals.
Sometimes
Follower.
I wonder where are those kids?
Or get like a
50.
really angry cat. Slide it underneath there, bro. You know, let them have fun.
When you really need them, because this will be the perfect time to make a scene, to really cause an issue. Now, there isn't a national database that keeps track of gooning and, you know, all the public indecency cases, at least that I know of. But if we examine big cities like New York, we see that there's been reports of an increase in public masturbation. According to NYPD data cited by the New York Post, there was a 51% surge in such complaints through June 30 compared to the same period in 2023. Additionally, the number of criminal summonses issued for public exposure of genitals increased by a staggering 396% at the same time. That's an almost 400% increase. In cities like Chicago and other areas within the Cook County, facilities operated by the Cook County Sheriff's Office have seen a dramatic increase in incidents of inmates masturbating and holding areas, causing distress and harassment, especially for female lawyers representing clients in those areas. And there have been multiple articles that talk about this issue. Public defenders pushed to breaking point by masturbating inmates.
Pushed to breaking point?
How often is this stuff happening? Masturbation epidemic in Cook County court lockups raises questions about jail conditions, county budget, defendant rights. In Atlanta, we got a man who's been continuously arrested for indecent exposure.
Island right by Ponce de Leon. I spoke with a
Somehow this is Ms. Kip's fault.
man who lives right over here in these condos. He says he walks out the door and right where I'm standing on this sidewalk, he sees a man exposing himself, touching himself. He's called the police. The man gets arrested and then ends up right back here doing the same thing.
Jesus!
Dude literally respawns, bro. That's insane.
I was in total shock. Like, am I really seeing what I'm seeing right now?
For 3 years, David Robertson has been dealing with this.
I am not related to this man. I want to make this perfectly clear. I am not related to this man. I don't know this man. Okay? Yeah, no, he ain't my brother. He ain't my uncle. He ain't my dad. He ain't nothing. This is a random man. I've never seen this guy before in my whole life.
When he walks outside of his Virginia Highland condo.
You know, back in the day, public indecency was that one weird guy in a trench coat. You knew him, you avoided eye contact with him. And oh yeah, depending on where you grew up, there was also the homeless person who wasn't all the way there and would sometimes walk around completely naked. I think as a child, that's like the worst public indecency ever got. And of course, there was that one time period when people were debating whether or not mothers could breastfeed their babies in public. But that's a completely different topic. But see, we went from that public indecency.
I believe you should be allowed to breastfeed your baby in public. Yep, I don't care. You should be allowed. It ain't a big deal. It's just eating, bro. Who cares?
See, to now having couples, TikTokers, spicy content creators, all contributing to the public indecency problem. We're seeing a shift.
I'm just saying that because I want to see boobies, bro. I'll just be real. I don't. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just trying to see some boobies.
From accidental nudity to scheduled programming. And a lot of this, believe it or not, goes back to pornography. Every day, the internet vomits out more explicit content than our ancestors saw in their whole lifetime. And everyone from young kids to senior citizens are all consuming this content. And senior citizens might be the worst when it comes to public indecency. There have been a multitude of times where I've caught senior citizens watching spicy content either at like a public library or just somewhere in public thinking that nobody notices. There's literally a bunch of proof online. People catch them all the time.
Although low key, bro, when you're trying to hit a new max PR on a bench, and then you bust out some goon material on your.
Lost me, brother.
This is the NVIDIA RTX 5060 Ti, and this particular model is the Tough Gaming OC from Asus. Asus sent this card over to me for review, however, all thoughts and opinions are my own. And I'm back with another GPU review, and once again, it is another Tough Gaming card from Asus. This is the 5060 Ti, and we got a lot to talk about here. Now, I will say this. Don't think for 1 second that this Tough Gaming is exactly the same as all the other Tough Gaming cards I have already reviewed here on the channel. Asus did make a couple of design changes here, and honestly, it caught me off guard. So I'm happy I caught it before I published my video. So we'll talk about that here in just a moment. Now, with that being said, there are a couple of things you need to be
Hello, in this video, we are going to unbox two Asus dual NVIDIA 5060 Ti 16GB graphics cards.
Introducing the NVIDIA 5060 Ti 16GB. MSRP $429 US.
The price in Australia is 708 Aussie dollars, or 446 US dollars, which is within 5% of the MSRP. Because HDR was enabled during recording, the video features a high level of contrast.
Oh! Yo. I guess I need to figure that out. Okay, I'm telling you, every time I stream, I get these messages for this streamboo.com. They want me bad. What's up with my chat?
The item comes in an anti-static bag, well protected by foam on all sides. Besides the graphics card, the box contains only the Quick Start Guide, a thank you card, and the warranty card. Pretty basic.
I don't know why it's not working right. That don't make any sense.
8-pin power connector.
Maybe it wants YouTube chat. How do I add another chat? So how do I add it? Alright, let's see if I can bump myself up a little bit here. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello.
DisplayPort's 2.1b.
One second. Is that blurry on stream? It is. Is that blurry on stream? I gotta figure out a way to boost gain myself too a little bit here. Hello, hello, hello. No, that's too open. No, that's too open. So, am I good though? Is that louder? I can't hear myself at all. So, am I good though? Is that louder? I can't hear myself at all. All right, let's do it. Let's set it there. All right, let's do it. Let's set it there. All right, overlays. All right, let's do it. Let's set it there. Overlays. Am I still good? I'm hearing so much echo. Am I still good? I'm hearing so much echo. There's no way that's picking that up. No way. There's no way that's picking that up. No way. All right. Anyways. All right. I think that's better.
It has only one 8-pin power connector. Three display ports 2.1b, one HDMI port 2.1b, HDCP support yes 2.3. It's quite satisfying to peel off the protective film. What is the backplate made out of? We will surely find out later. Protective films everywhere. The product features fans with ball bearings, ensuring good performance, longevity. PCI Express 5.0.
Dude, you just can't read this fucking thing anywhere I put it.
The build quality is pretty good, I'd say. The official dimensions are 229 by 120 by 50 millimeters. The weight of the first unit is 665 grams. The second unit is 664 grams. Good consistency. What is the backplate made of? Plastic, metal, material X. What say you? Let's play Scratch and win to find out. Do not try this at home.
This has got to be the worst fucking video of all time.
The 5060. It's not the GPU we wanted, but is it the one we needed? Kind of, maybe. It's reasonably priced and offers good performance
You know what? We're just gonna do it like this. But give me a second, 'cause I'm.
I won't ever stop because you know I
edition though. There was
Yeah.
controversy surrounding it when it first
Controversy.
launched due
Yep.
to only having 8 gigabytes of RAM,
Yep.
and Nvidia releasing it just as most of the tech community was on their way to Computex, and they didn't even provide pre-release drivers, so nobody was able to even start testing and writing a review until after the card was publicly available. But now that we're just over 2 months after it came out, let's see how everything shook out and how it stacks up. The 5060 is the cheapest 50 series card that still uses GDDR7 RAM. So while it still uses a 128-bit memory bus like the 4060, you get almost double the bandwidth, going from 272 gigabytes per second to 448. It has 25% or 768 more CUDA cores than the 4060's 3072 for a total of 3840, and the boost clock didn't really change, going from 2460 to 2497 megahertz. However, the base clock is another story, going from 1830 up to 2280 megahertz. Tensor cores and TMUs both got bumped up to 120 as opposed to 96, and the 5060 kept the same 48 ROPS. Unfortunately, we don't have a 4060 to test alongside it, but we can compare it to the 5070, and since it's in the same price range, we'll pit it against the B580 from Intel as well. So for power draw, we're stating the specs of the ones we tested. Just keep in mind things can vary slightly depending on what exact model you get. Our 5060 has a 155 watt TDP and uses an average of 106 watts. The 5070 has a TDP of 250 and uses 210, and the B580 has a 190 watt TDP and used close to 165. The low power draw also makes it perfect to upgrade older systems, as most power supplies should be able to handle it. And unlike the small form factor ready 5070, the 5060 has an actual low profile version from Gigabyte. So whether you're a true small form factor kind of guy or trying to modernize an old mini PC, you do still have an option for the current generation. It isn't all good though. The biggest complaint there is for the 5060 is the only 8 gigabytes of VRAM. So how big of a deal is it? Less than it's made out to be, but does have some effect. The biggest issue is games like Indiana Jones that take over 8 gigs at anything above medium settings, meaning although the chip should be powerful enough, it doesn't even get the chance to try. And games like Monster Hunter Wilds or Marvel Rivals will run at ultra settings, but would like more VRAM, so in that case, you'll just experience a lot more frames hanging and stuttering and an overall worse experience. And based on the low sales of the 5060, we can always hope that gives NVIDIA the kick needed to actually produce the rumored 12 gig version, but they're more likely to rebrand your page file as AI generated RAM before they squeeze a higher RAM version in the $80 gap between this card and the 8 gig 5060 Ti. That being said, if you were still considering buying a B580 given its reasonable price and 12 gigabytes of VRAM, it's hard to choose the Intel card due to having less driver support and more bugs in general. If you can't afford anything over $300 and need a GPU now, it's probably between this 5060 and a 9060 XT, which we haven't been able to review yet. And while you will suffer forever with the knowledge you bought an 8 gig card in 2025, you'll also sleep easier knowing you didn't give up real-world gaming performance in the process. And speaking of that performance, let's get into it. Again, we'll be looking at the 5060 against the 5070 and Intel's B580, both of which have 12 gigabytes of VRAM. The specific models we have here are the Zotac AMP 5060 for $320, the Founders Edition 5070 for $550, and the Intel Limited Edition B580 for $250. So let's start with synthetic benchmarks, which we have 3D Mark Steel Nomad with a score of 3,186 from the 5060, the 5070 got 5,149, and the B580 got 2,975. And then we also have Steel Nomad Lite, where the 5060 got 14,123, the 5070 got 21,580, and the B580 got 11,091. And then we have a side of Passmark with the 5060 getting an overall score of 10,574, the 5070 got 16,102 overall, and finally the B580 with 12,479. On average, the 5060 beats the B580 by about 6%, and the 5070 scored about 90% better than the 5060, which all makes sense and the price of the cards reflect this, but as for gaming, it's a slightly different story. The 5060 is first and foremost a 1080p card, but surprisingly can also pull off some 1440. And just to simplify this, all of the tests were done at ultra settings with no upscaling. So that means there's no DLSS4 trickiness where the 5060 is generating 3 fake frames while the B580 is living the harsh cold reality of rasterization. So let's look at things like God of War Ragnarok. The 5060 got an average of 83 FPS at 1440 and 112 FPS in 1080. And in Hogwarts Legacy, it got 67 FPS at 1440 and 103 at 1080. Getting over 60 FPS at 1440p though isn't the case for every game. For example, Cyberpunk is running at a still playable 41 FPS at that 1440p, but a much better 75 FPS at 1080p. The 3 cards' relative performance varies wildly on a game-by-game basis, mainly between the 5060 and the B580. Like in The Witcher 3, where the 5060 gets 61 FPS at 1440, the B580 gets a whopping 101 FPS for a 66% increase. Although it is worth noting the B580 is much more inconsistent, particularly when it comes to the 0.1% lows, getting 83 and 29 respectively, while the 5060 was way better. However, in other games, for instance Black Ops 6 at 1440p, the B580 could only muster up 42 FPS, while the 5060 got 60 FPS for a win of 43%. And of course the 5070 is better than the 5060, but in this case it only got 68 FPS, beating the 5060 by 13%. But now let's take a look at the multi-game averages at 1080p, just conglomerating all the numbers together. The B580 comes in at a 92 FPS average with 47 for the 1% and 24 for the 0.1% lows. The 5060 gets an average of 101 FPS for a 10% gain and 53 FPS at the 1% and 43 for the 0.1% lows. An 82% win on the 0.1% lows, meaning you'll have a considerably smoother experience. 0.1% lows just means that in the lowest 0.1% of frames, that is what the average FPS was at that. So the lower that number is, the more of a gap there is between the average FPS and what you're dipping down to. So it's just going like this all of the time on the B580. And the 5070 got 138 FPS average, which is 38% better than the 5060, and it had 75.1% and 55.1% lows. And also the 5060 is impressively power efficient. For reference, as stated, the B580 performed about 9% worse than the 5060 and took an average of 165 watts while gaming and ran at 61 degrees Celsius. The 5060 only took 106 watts and ran at 51 degrees. So you get 10% better performance out of less than 2/3 of the energy, which is frankly crazy. And even the 5070 is way less efficient, taking almost twice the power with 210 watts, and that only gains you the 38% performance at 1080p, although performance does go up to 48% increase over the 5060 at 1440, but again, you're almost doubling the power consumption. Now, as for how efficient they are for your money at 1080, it comes to dollars per frame at $2.73, and stays the best deal as long as you get it for under $290. The 5060 is close behind at $3.18 in our case, as our model is $320, but assuming the $300 versions produce the roughly same amount of frames, that would bring it down to $2.98 per frame, making $275 the tipping point between that and the B580. And the 5070 is a bit far off at $3.97 per frame, but it's hard to put into perspective as we haven't tested its more direct competitors. And for how much hate the 5060 got at launch and continues to get, there is one card that it killed, the 3070. I know, a lot of people have already written off the half-decade-old card, but for building on a budget, it has been a fairly long-standing great deal. However, with this 5060 launching at the same roughly $300 mark that it took to get a refurbished 3070, it's time to send it off into the sunset. For their performance, they trade blows in most games. The 5060 is slightly behind, only by a couple frames though, with the 1080 averages being 102 FPS for the 5060 and 103 for the 3070. Funnily enough, from a VRAM standpoint, they're almost identical, while the 5060 has GDDR7 instead of 6. The 3070 does have double the bus width, so they end up having the exact same 448 gigabytes per second bandwidth. The power draw, on the other hand, couldn't be more different. As previously stated, the 5060 uses about 106 watts while gaming, and the 3070 uses almost twice that with 190 watts. So with having the same price and performance, with the 5060 taking half the power and being brand new, so you don't have to deal with eBay or worry about the card dying from old age and you want a warranty, the 5060 is the clear winner between those two. So, while the 5060 was launched in an utterly terrible fashion, it offers solid 1080p performance at a pretty good price, and can even squeeze its way into some 1440p gaming. And while the 8 gigs of VRAM are less than ideal, it only poses an issue every once in a while, and you can easily work around it by just lowering the settings a little. Again, all of our testing was done at ultra settings, which is going to consume as much VRAM as possible. You can definitely lower it down to get better frame rate, which is what you're going to have to do to get a good amount of frames in demanding games. And if you're making a budget NVIDIA build, this has crushed any reason to get a 3070. And even outside of NVIDIA, I'd probably still choose the 5060 over a B580 because it's barely, if at all, more expensive, gets better performance, and gives you a way smoother experience overall, even if the dollar per frame goes in the B580's favor. The gaming experience on the 5060 is something that is harder to tell with that dollar per frame chart. But I can already foreread the comments asking about the 9060 XT. Don't worry, we just got those delivered this week, and we'll be working to get a review out on these ASAP. I had it backwards. And we'll make sure to compare it directly to the 5060. I just need you to sit tight for a moment longer. And if you want to see the PC that we'll be building the 9060 into, you can come sit tight and watch our Twitch stream, and also enter in for a chance to win an RTX 5090 gaming PC. And also, the 5060 is impressively power efficient. For reference, as stated, the B580 performed about 9% worse than the 5060 and took an average of 165 watts while gaming and ran at 61 degrees Celsius. The 5060 only took 106 watts and ran at 51 degrees. So you get 10% better performance out of less than 2/3 of the energy, which is frankly crazy. And even the 5070 is way less efficient, taking almost twice the power with 210 watts, and that only gains you the 38% performance at 1080p, although performance does go up to 48% increase over the 5060 at 1440, but again, you're almost doubling the power consumption. Now, as for how efficient they are for your money at 1080p, the B580 is still the best when it comes to dollars per frame at $2.73, and stays the best deal as long as you get it for under $290. The 5060 is close behind at $3.18 in our case, as our model is $320, but assuming the $300 versions produce the same amount of frames, that would bring it down to
Get some headphones at work.
8 cents per frame, making $275 the tipping point between that and the B580. And the 5070 is a bit far off at $3.97
See, it doesn't pop up until after. That's weird.
As we haven't tested its more direct competitors. And for how much hate the 5060 got at launch and continues to get, there is one card that it killed. The 3070. I know, a lot of people have already written off the half-decade-old card, but for building on a budget, it has been a fairly long-standing great deal. However, with this 5060 launching at the same roughly $300 mark that it took to get the refurbished 3070, it's time to send it off into the sunset. For their performance, they trade blows in most games. The 5060 is slightly behind, only by a couple frames though, with the 1080 averages being 102 FPS for the 5060 and 103 for the 3070. Funnily enough, from a VRAM standpoint, they're almost identical, while the 5060 has GDDR7 instead of 6. The 3070 does have double the bus width, so they end up having the exact same 448 gigabytes per second bandwidth.
I don't understand why that didn't move. Can I really do it from here the whole time? Yeah, I could have.